I don't be watching that shit. It be making me mad.
Hey, yo, what up, ladies and gents? We back up in the building again. Throwback Thursday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank y'all very much
Hello.
for joining the No Boundaries crew. I'll be your man, Big Pee Wee. I got Juan Fuego. I got
What up?
Deacon,
What up?
and I got
Peace.
Tata.
What's going on? What's going on?
This is gonna be another great show. We got a whole lot to talk about. The world is upside down right about now, man. We're gonna get into some George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Rashad Brooks, Robert Fuller, Malcolm Harsh. And if you guys don't know who those names are, we're going to fill it in for you in this show. We're also going to talk about some Starbucks stuff that's been happening with Starbucks. Crazy. Juan Fuego said, hey, can't forget, we got to get Karen up in here. Believe me, we going to
Get
talk
them
about
hoes up in here.
Get them.
Well, before we start the show, on a high note, we do want to say congratulations to the class of 2020, man.
Woo!
Yeah. So congratulations to the class of 2020. It's a
Indeed.
beautiful thing, man. You know, these youngins, they did it, man. With everything
Man.
going on, they did it, man.
Through all the drama and no school and
Right.
online, all that, man.
You
That's
know
dope.
what? I never would have made it, okay?
Hey, but I'll tell you this though, on the real. Some people that probably wasn't gonna graduated. So
Yeah.
you know.
For real.
Yeah,
I know they happy about it.
that's right. That's right.
Hell yeah. Because I know at my school they were like, it was a point that they were giving to people either you could take a pass or a grade or a pass fail. Also, if I wasn't graduating, pass me, my dude.
Right.
Yeah. I'm gonna take that. Yeah, for
Right.
sure. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
So
sad.
some people slid through.
You know, and a lot of these colleges aren't even requiring ACT or SAT scores.
Right, for this year. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
dope.
that's crazy, man. So I don't know if you guys have noticed right now how young Zaid looks right now.
Young or old, whichever way you look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I messed up on my beard, y'all. I messed up on the beard. You know, one side was higher. So, I had to take him down, but it's all good.
Dang, that was a lot of hair though, huh?
Well, I had it low. But, yeah, it was more than this. You couldn't see the booty chin, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you looking a little aged right now, just a little bit.
It's all good.
Did the kids notice the difference?
Yeah. Presley was like, Daddy, you got a haircut? Like, first of all, I ain't got no hair.
Right.
Secondly, nigga messed up.
You getting that shaking hand?
Oh man, it's all good. It was late, man. I shouldn't have did it.
Oh, man. Come on, Z. You know you got to do that during the daytime when you cut.
Come on. Yeah, when you're fresh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
when you're fresh. It's all good. Yes, sir.
All right, man. So we've got a lot going on in the world today. Like I said, you know, the world has been turned upside down. Started with my man George Floyd, may he rest in peace. And Minneapolis, they didn't damn near burnt the city down. They still out there.
That shit
Minneapolis, Minneapolis has officially voted that they are going to defund the police department, strip it down, and bring it back up. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Well, what does that really mean?
I think that from what I understand, Juan, it's they're not giving them. You know, every year it's a budget. I think we talked about this last year, and every year they allocated this amount of money for whatever they need. But I think that they've been getting so much extra money that it's like now they're taking that and they're putting it into the community. So they'll have more resources in the community, like resource centers and things like that for the community versus giving the people more money, which I don't even know what they use it for every year anyway. So
And that's all well and good. You know, that's a start, I guess. But what are you doing? What reforms? What changes are you making for all of these cops who don't belong on the force? Right. You know, somebody posted something. I think it was your mom's, that posted something about all of the requirements that a nurse or a cosmetologist has to go through
Right.
to keep their license, but police officers don't.
Right.
They don't have any extra
or
training or, yearly training.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Recertifications. I saw
Right.
another picture that was posted of this obese. He wasn't overweight. He was obese. Police officer. I mean, one of them ones that the ankles, don't even fit in the shoes.
Oh God.
And it's like,
Oh
how is
God.
he a police officer?
Yeah, who
Right?
you catching?
Right.
You know what I'm
If
saying?
I run from
you,
him,
you for
then
sure gonna shoot me.
yeah. If I run from him,
Oh
he's
my
gonna shoot me.
God.
You for
He
sure
at the
getting shot if
desk.
it's a fat
He
cop,
at the
yo. If
desk.
it's a fat
He
cop,
at the
you
desk.
getting shot, bro.
So
Straight
what
up.
I would like to see from these police departments is some accountability, right?
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you something else I heard today, and this just blew my mind. Michael Vick served.
Was it like 4 or 5 years?
He served more time than all the cops that have killed the last 493 black men combined
No
Fact.
way. No
Fact.
way. No way.
for killing a
No way.
dog.
Yeah.
And how about the meme? I love these memes about the black lady who lied about sending her daughter
Child
to a
to
different school
another
district,
school.
Yes,
and she got 5
5
years, and
years,
then
Right.
whatever the name, Felicity
Lord
Huff,
left
she
her
got
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
in a
Like,
fine.
come on, man, and you paid money, you really cheated.
What
Like,
about the
come on,
lady?
man.
What about the lady in Florida who fired the warning shot from the guy that was trying to beat her?
Right.
She got jail time.
Yeah, the black
This is
Yeah,
I can't remember her name.
and with all of this, you'll still have people that would try to justify everything we just said.
Everything.
And
Everything.
so the funny thing is, let's take it back to Trump, and his team says that they don't see systemic racism in America.
Because they all benefited from it.
right.
And this
All of them.
proves your point. All of these stories that we are talking about right now proves the point of systemic racism in
Right.
America. And
Right.
it's very hard to turn a blind eye to it when you're constantly, especially in this digital world with social media, YouTube, and
Right.
and everything like that. That you can find these stories, you can see these videos, and and I'm with you though, Z. At the end of the day, it's the fact that they are benefiting from it.
Right.
Judges are
Big
benefiting
time.
from it. The prison system. We are the only country that pays the prison system. We're the only ones that pay the prison system. So
and
it's
and
They
like you
live
said,
they live in luxury up in there.
yeah,
They
and
just
it's
live in
a
really
business. It's truly a business, man. Like, that's the part. Like, it
as
should
long as I
be
can keep bodies in the bed, I'm continuing to get paid.
Right.
getting
right.
That
paid,
is the
bro. And
reason why you have 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you see black people in jail is because if I can keep you there longer, the more money I make
More
off.
money on it.
right,
That's just
right.
like I have a couple of I have a couple of clients that are a nurse or that know them, and they're saying like, well, we may have mentioned this before, but a lot of people that's in the hospital that's dying, they died from COVID-19, and they
Right.
really didn't die from that to get
Right.
paid for it. So it
Mm,
just goes to show that
that's crazy. It's all
that's
a
how this
business.
world is
All
working.
of it.
Yeah, it's all a
All of it.
business,
All of
and
it.
just to
All
get
of
the
it.
money.
All of
And
it.
and when you talking about, and I'm with
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Juan Fuego on this, that I want to see something different. I want to see these police officers being held accountable. So when we talk about Breonna Taylor, just the other day, Breonna Taylor law just passed. It's called the
Mm-hmm.
Breonna Taylor law that
Right.
just passed. In
Right.
Louisville, Metro Council voted unanimously to ban the no-knock warrant to prevent what happened to Breonna Taylor from happening to somebody else.
Right.
Now, this is where, and I'm with Juan on this one. This is where they passed this law, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now that you passed this law,
What's
up with the police officers now?
Right. Exactly. That part.
Well, I don't believe that you can backdate, right? So it's law now. So if it happens now, there's consequences or whatever the law says. But I don't think it pertains.
But that's my thing. You saw how they, and I'm with you. That's the game that they play.
Right.
Because they know for a fact that they could have added this on to these officers. They know that they could have. Because all it is just a law.
Right.
You can backdate it. You can backdate that and say, hey, this is starting to apply.
Well,
these, I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
I
not
don't.
that. I shouldn't say
but
backdate.
Pete,
Right.
but Pete,
You can
even
make them, you can make them accountable for this in this.
Well, you shouldn't need a law to make them accountable for this.
Right. My point. Yeah.
So that
that's what I
law
was gonna
shouldn't
say.
have nothing to do with them being held accountable for this.
Right.
From my understanding from that story, they were looking for a white couple. And they had already arrested the couple a couple of hours before.
So who else was you looking for?
What was you doing?
So
Right.
this man.
But I think I feel what Juan is saying. It's like, regardless of if that law was just passed or not, them dudes need to be held accountable.
Right.
And I feel like I don't know if they might still have their jobs or whatever. It might be, well, we went in for a raid, whatever. But I think, I don't know, but I hope the family can actually sue those cops. You know what I mean? For wrongful death or something.
Oh, they will.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There has to
they
be
gonna
something.
do that for sure.
There has to be something beyond of like them getting fired, because them getting fired just doesn't do it either. Like they should be in jail. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think a friend of mine, he's always asking, what are these marches accomplishing? What are these protests accomplishing? And I'm like, you can't necessarily say what they're accomplishing, as a whole. I think for the most part, when you're doing these things, you're doing them in hopes that there's some kind of unity and there's some kind of camaraderie with people to try to build something. You know what I mean? Because if you don't show that, then it ain't gonna work. But I think with all this stuff going on, like those laws getting passed and stuff, things are getting passed so quick now because they see this stuff going on. They see these marches every weekend. They see people coming up to the city hall demanding things. And now you putting the pressure on people. And that's why this law got passed so fast. That's why, those men were arrested that killed, Brother Arbery. So I think some things are happening. It might not be happening like everybody wants it to.
Right.
But things are slowly, I think things are changing though.
And it came out. It came out. I heard also that the third guy in the Aubrey case hit him with the truck before he started filming.
Wait,
no,
what?
He didn't.
Yeah, he hit him with the truck, and then he got out and started filming.
Wow.
Yeah. So with the Aubrey situation, he was looking at the construction house.
Right.
When he came out of the construction house, he started to run. The father and son started to follow him. He backtracked and came back towards that house. When he came back, that's when they called the other guy. The other guy cut him off. And that's where, like Juan said, he hit him. He went back the other way. That's when he started filming. And that's what you see him running back into the father and son.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
We all.
That's sad.
Mean, the one thing about it right now that we all do know, Atlanta is a hot spot right now. It's a lot going on in the ATL right now. Rashad Brooks, just this past Friday, was killed and shot by a police officer. I don't know. Have you guys seen this story?
Is that the one where he was asleep in the car?
Yeah. I heard a couple of different stories, like he was asleep in the actual drive-through.
No, it looked like he was asleep in the drive-through, bro.
In the drive-through.
It looked like he fell asleep.
So what happened was, from with the video that you saw, was he fell asleep in the drive-through line.
See, I haven't seen
And
that video. I
Yeah.
don't think I've
and
seen it.
Wendy's employee from Wendy's called the police and said, "Hey, we have a guy he done fell asleep in the car and is backing up our line." And so
Mm-hmm.
that's when the police came, and they knocked on the window like the first knock was hard, like he hit on it like the police, and
Mm-hmm.
then I mean he hit it on with his knuckle, and he didn't wake up, so he hit on it flat hand to make that real loud noise. He didn't
Mm-hmm.
wake up. And then finally, he opened up the door to see if the door
Mm-hmm.
would open. He opened the door, and that's when Rashad woke up. Was like, "Whoa, like what the?" And so the officer kind of had some words with him and told him to pull off to the side. So when he pulled off to the side, that's when the conversation went on. They said for almost 30
Yeah.
minutes.
Right. They was,
Mm.
and it looked like they were trying to get him, to admit that he was drunk or whatever. And like he said, he had some few drinks. But I know you're gonna tell the rest of the story, Pee Wee. But at the end, I know that you saw the black police officer walk up on the man and was
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what I mean? You good? You good?
Oh,
Yeah.
on the cop, yeah, I did see
yeah,
that.
and what I don't want us to miss, even though that cop shot that man, he still asked, how was he? How was he?
He said, and that's my
That's my
biggest concern.
biggest concern.
No. No. I'm talking about not the black dude. I'm talking about
Oh, the white guy. The white guy said, "How
the
is
guy who shot him.
Mr.
Yes,
Brooks?"
and I don't want us to miss that. I know that he shouldn't have shot him. I get all that. But in that moment, he asked, like, how was Mr. Because the other cop wasn't even. And then you
Yeah.
see the black guy. He didn't even know. He was like, oh, I didn't
Right.
want to ask about him. I
Yeah,
came
he
to check
said,
on you.
I'm not worried about that. Here's my thing,
Yeah.
though. Here's my thing
Yeah.
about that, right?
Mhm.
And I heard that too, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
Right.
But I know that Rashard Brooks, may have been a little tipsy. I know
Right.
that he was probably a little nervous,
Mm-hmm.
but why grab the taser?
No doubt. Oh, why did he grab the
Yeah,
taser?
Yes.
Rashad.
Yeah.
Why did you
And see,
grab the taser?
yeah.
That's
You see what
something
I'm
we would
saying?
never
And
know.
I will tell you this, Juan. A friend of a friend of mine who's a cop, he did tell me. He says, Z, like the taser, it incapacitates you.
Right.
He says so sometimes, like if somebody grabs your taser and they tase you, you don't know what you're going to do. You know what I mean? Like if they grab your taser,
You
'cause
don't
if
know
you
what
get
they gonna
tased,
do.
exactly.
Right.
If you would grab my taser, you might grab my gun, bro.
Right.
So if
Right.
you tase me, who's to say? So it's a lot of different stories. But like
Yeah.
you said, why did he do that?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like
But still, that's still not a cause to get killed.
it's not.
Right.
But
Right.
it's not a cause to get killed. But I'm now putting myself in
Mhm.
that cop's position. If
For
somebody
sure.
takes my taser or grabs my
Right.
taser,
Right.
what other recourse do I have?
I mean, he was running away though.
Yeah.
That I was about to say that was going to be my point though, Juan,
Yeah,
because
he was running
Rashad
away.
But he
Rashad
was gonna
Brooks,
run away. He was gonna run away and shoot him with the taser and
like, did he
let.
have the taser when he was running away?
I'm not
so
sure.
so yeah, he had the taser when he was running away.
Oh
So
my
you're as the police officer,
God.
we always hear the argument of my life had to be in danger, right?
Mhm.
I had to be in intimate danger for me to, okay?
Right.
So the scuffle is when, as a police officer, because I was watching this on CNN and they were talking to a couple of detectives and police officers about that.
Okay.
And they even said, at that point of the scuffle is when the police officers felt the intimate danger right then and there.
Okay.
The danger was out when he started to run away. Like you're not
You
in.
mean the danger was over when he
Yes.
started to run
So
away?
those
Started
officers
to
were saying
run
they could have let him go or whatever.
And so now again, you're in the midst of the scuffle. It's all kind of
Right.
stuff going on.
Right.
You're not thinking straight.
Right.
Of course
Right.
not, and I get that.
Right.
But And they even said in Georgia law that it's him having a taser is just like him having pepper spray or a billy club or something like that. It's not a lethal weapon. And the fact that he had the gun the stun gun in his hand, you knew it was the stun gun because it's bright yellow.
Right.
So as a police officer, you know, because that's yours. You've seen it before. It's bright yellow.
Mhm.
Excuse me. But does that cause for the extreme measures of pulling out your gun and shooting when somebody is running away from you?
Right.
So that's where the question is really going to be.
Yeah,
Is
because
at
it's
that
not like
point.
he was running towards him. I'm running away from your ass. Like,
Right.
that's deep.
And on top of the fact that they sat there for almost 30 minutes, had a conversation with him. They patted him down. They had his license. They had his keys.
They could have. Yeah, you could have found me. You could have found him.
Right.
If he was running away, where was he going?
Probably to a sister
Right.
house
To
where
a
he was
sister
asking
house.
where he wanted to go.
And
But
then
then
again,
But
but
you know
see,
what
because I think I know where you're going, Juan. I know where
it's
you're going,
hard.
Juan.
It's hard to decipher that in that.
But you have other sources, though, Juan. Like
What do you
if I'm
mean?
away from you, if I'm running away from you, your first thing to do is to pull out your gun.
I don't
I'm
know.
running away from you.
I
Your
don't
first
know.
Well,
thing
maybe
is to
I
pull
maybe
your
don't
gun.
know. I don't know, Pee Wee, because that's not my job. That's not my training. I don't know what they go through. I don't know, what they're taught. And with everything that's going on, if I'm a white cop, any anything that doesn't comply with what I'm asking you to do, I'm probably scared. And I'm not saying that it's justified. I'm not saying that, it's okay. What I'm saying is, it's easy to say what we would do. It's easy to say, well, you're a police officer. You have this training or that training. Like Zaid said, he turned and hit me with that stun gun.
right.
Now what? He done took my
And
stun gun already.
And that's
Will
the
he
part
take
that
my gun? I
and
don't
that's what my
know.
boy was saying. Yeah, that's what my boy was saying. Like, you know how that works. Like, he has your stun gun. And now, for the instance when he had it, you know what I mean, we could say, hey, he grabbed it. I get what you're saying, Pete. The man is running away. I
But I think
understand that totally.
that I would think that he maybe he thought that, okay, he's running away. If I run after him and he stop and turn around, he gonna tase me. So I'm gonna shoot him.
But my thing is this: I would look at it this way. You
If that
really
makes
walked
sense.
up on him because he was asleep, bro. He was asleep in his car. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he did some heinous crime to where we need to be chasing this man and like really like, let's get this guy. You know what I mean? Because people have done less and like you get escorted home. You know what I mean? The man said, let me go home. Let's take me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you could have just took the dude home. Because I just saw a white dude chasing another white cop.
Yeah, I saw that.
Chasing him.
After he got tased.
Nick, hold up, Juan Fagan.
Yeah.
The man got in his car.
Yeah.
The man got in the cop car and he still didn't get shot.
Yeah.
Then he got in his car and turned around and hit a wheelie and shit.
Yeah.
And came back and hit the cop car. And he still didn't get shot.
Yeah.
Pee-wee, look at my face. Watch this. But some people would still try to justify that, bro.
I still go back to my first question though.
That's crazy.
I still go back to
crazy.
my first question. Why did he grab for anything?
Yeah.
I understand.
Oh, you know what, Juan? I got
listen.
an answer for you, Juan.
Yeah.
Just like you said, the cops with everything that's going on, you said that some white cops, when you're dealing with white people, they're already scared. It could have been the same for him.
He was probably
I was
You
scared
gonna
know what I
too.
mean? Like it could have been the same
So let
thing.
me
He's
ask you
scared
a
too and
question. I
said,
got that.
He
Okay, I
probably
got
was
that.
reaching for the
I
gun. Who
got that.
knows?
I got
But he
that.
grabbed the
I
taser
and I got
instead.
that. So let me ask you men, and
Yeah.
you know, you can answer too, Tata, but it's more prevalent with the men. So let me ask you a question. You get
Let
pulled
the
over.
queen talk.
You get pulled over in that situation, and you're scared that they're gonna, if you get in cuffs, you're scared that they're gonna do whatever, right? Are you reaching for anything on them?
Not if you in handcuffs.
No. They haven't put the cuffs on you. They're
Oh, they
they're
haven't put
going
the
to
cuffs on.
they're going because they grabbed him like they went to put the cuffs on him,
Right.
and that's when so they're going to put the cuffs on you. You mean to tell me you're so scared? Is there any point that you're going to tell me right now that you would be so scared that you would reach for the gun or the taser on that cop?
Nah,
I'm
you
not.
can go both ways though.
You do
Would
still
you
have to,
reach for the gun or the taser of that cop, Pee
but you
Wee?
still have to remember that
He was reaching for it though. Go ahead,
Huh?
Tata. Go ahead.
Hold on. What did you say, Pee Wee?
No, go ahead, Tata. Go
No,
ahead.
I was gonna say you still have to keep in mind that he was still inebriated.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question.
I'm not saying that justify anything, but that could. I'm
Okay.
not saying.
I get that. I know that's not what you're saying, but whose fault was it that he was inebriated? Whose fault was it that he was asleep in the drive-through?
It's
We
his.
can't just sit here and give a pass for what we do because the results happen,
Right.
right? I'm not condoning what the cop did. I'm not, none of that. But if he was drinking, he shouldn't have been driving. You mean to tell me your ass dumb enough to get behind the wheel and do the shit? Come on, man. We gotta do better too.
Right. That's absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
I hear you, Juan Fuego. I hear you all the way, homeboy. We got to do better, no doubt about it.
And in
Police
his mind,
officers
he
need
probably
to do
thought,
better
let
too.
me pull over and sleep this off.
In the
And,
drive-through, dog.
well, not
So what he was doing was, like Tata said, I'm drunk. Let me get some food in my system
Right,
so I can soak this up.
right, right. I
But
get it.
I'm with you, Juan.
yeah, it's not yeah. I mean, he shouldn't have been drinking and driving,
I just don't think.
clearly.
I just don't think that.
But
Given
see,
given given
Juan,
given the climate that we in, given the things that have happened, that I'm reaching for. I don't care how fucking inebriated I am. I'm not reaching for no
Yeah,
fucking.
I'm not
I'm not
reaching
doing
either.
it.
I'm not
and I
reaching
get,
either.
but again, I'm with Tata. He not thinking. They not thinking. This whole ordeal before the handcuffs, they sat and talked to this guy for
Yeah.
almost
yeah.
And it
20,
wasn't
30
like he was
minutes.
irate
You
or
could have been home by
anything.
now. You could
Yeah,
have been
they could
home.
have just, I mean,
Come on.
it's easier said than done. They could have just, gave him a pass or whatever. I mean, it wasn't like he was coming at them, any kind of way. He
Right.
was having a calm conversation with them. He wasn't disrespecting them or none of the above. If I was a cop and if I was in that situation, I probably would have,
Let him go to his
let him
family
go.
house.
No,
Yeah,
what I would
Or
have
take
done,
him.
yeah.
Call
that
somebody.
part,
Right.
that's what I was gonna say. Or he said his sister lives right around the corner.
Right.
Call his sister. Let his sister come and pick him up.
No, I get that part. Yeah, I get that
Now,
part.
I'm with you though, Juan. I think in the scuffle, you're not paying attention what you're doing, and you just grab them. You just grabbing whatever you saw, and you just grab it. And I
Right.
get that. And I get that police officer jobs are extremely hard, and I get that. But before we even got to that point, again, we sat and talked for almost 30 minutes.
Yeah.
For almost you've already de-escalated the whole entire
So
situation.
so 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 like you're asking yourself kind of, what did you get out of the conversation that we sat there and had for 30 minutes?
Nothing. They didn't get nothing at all.
No, what I'm saying is in talking to him, you know that he's not like this maniac or nothing like that, because he wasn't talking crazy. You know what I mean? It was just, and then you still decide, okay, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna take you. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it.
But I say this though, Juan. The same way we say that we got to do better, police officers have to do better also.
Yeah.
That is the reason why we're in this situation right now.
Right.
It's because they need to do better.
Yes.
And for some reason, they are put in this such high esteem, and it's like they not held to the same standards as us, and it's that's the craziest part. Like, they a regular dude, bro. This they job. You know what I mean? Like, they signed up to do a job. It's not like this is some I don't want to say that, like, because I said that to Trina, and she was like, well, what do you mean by that? And I was like, I do appreciate them. You know what I mean? I do believe that their job is hard. But you chose this.
Right.
You know what I mean? You chose. It's not like somebody told you, like, you getting drafted for war. You know what I mean? And you ain't got no choice. You know what I mean? Like, you had a choice to either go to that boot camp, or not boot camp, but go to the academy or not.
Academy.
So you are not hired, like they said. Talia owns a shop, and she's a cosmo. What'd you call yourself? I'm sorry. It changed. Oh, you're a hairstylist. Okay. Hairstylist probably, she put in more hours to be a hairstylist than some of these cops put in to be cops, bro.
I'm with you.
But why we not holding the hairstylist to a level of that we do these cops, bro? That's all I'm saying. And I'm not being disrespectful, because I know cops and I don't think all of them bad. But I'm just saying, like, it feels like people put them to this high esteem that they don't need to be. You know what I mean?
Z, come on. Just because you got friends that are police officers, don't get scared now.
Okay, but I
that's
just like
stuff too. And they believe this. That's the crazy part. Some of them even they know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I saw a post today. Man, I wish I could have saved it. I did save it, but it said, in the 60s, 20s, 60s, somewhere up in there was a black police officer, and said it was a brotherhood that black officers could not pull over white people. And it was like, and it said, so why don't we have that same brotherhood code where white people can't pull over black people unless you got another black officer there?
Right. Yeah. Hey, while you're talking about that, another thing, Juan, that they're starting to do now, and I don't know if it's everywhere, but they are starting to send trained, unarmed professionals to certain calls that aren't, I guess you would say high risk and things like that. So, like, certain instances, they're not just sending the cops; they like sending trained people to try to de-escalate the situation.
I did read something like that.
Versus the cops rolling up in their guns. I mean, because I think that honestly, sometimes seeing a guy with a gun, or a police officer, I'm just saying a police officer, it kind of escalates the situation just a little bit.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It
kind of intensifies things, especially when you walk up with your, all of them don't come up to, hey, excuse me, guys, what's going on? Especially if you walk up like, hey. Now it's like,
how they do it?
I'm on Ed.
Do you know why I pulled you over?
Right. No, not really, my dude. Watch your tone. Watch your tone.
Won't you enlighten me?
Yeah, please. Watch your tone.
I had one pull me over one night. I was leaving the shop, and he was like, "Let me see your ID." And I showed him my ID, and he's like, "Is this you on your ID?" The fuck? Like,
you had a different wig on?
Well, my hair was a little different, but I mean, it was me. Clearly, it was me. I'm like, yeah, it's me. Where you coming from? I'm at work. I work around the corner.
That's what kills
somebody me. Like, okay, well, what?
Like, what did you expect? Like, what was, like, what were you expecting?
But to ask me, is this me? Like, nigga, put your flashlight on this and look at me. Like, it's me. Like, really? Right. Come on.
Where'd you just come from? I just came from just murdering like 7 people.
Right. Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm gonna tell you, man.
You might have got some rallies if you would have said that. They might have took you to rallies on the way to the jail.
See,
no, see the jail, Gardena jail's on the other side.
Been
No,
there,
I'm just
yes,
playing.
been there.
It's on the other side.
One faking them been there.
You been to the Dena precinct?
Yeah, yeah.
Let me tell you something. I ain't
Hey,
going. Okay,
Hey, I
I
know
can't
your
go.
mama didn't pick you up though.
No, she didn't. She didn't.
I
She,
can't.
yeah, she. Oh,
But she
yeah.
said you gonna keep your ass in there.
No,
Right.
she had
Yeah.
always told. She always told me, if you get picked up for something that you should have taken care of, don't call me.
Don't call
So
me.
I had 5 warrants, traffic warrants. And so when they pulled me over, I was with one of my boys. They pulled me over, and I told him, I said, and I had just got paid. I said, here's my check. I said, when you get, I said, they're getting ready to take me. He was like, no, they
Oh,
not.
you
I
knew
was,
it.
oh yeah. I was like, they're getting ready to take me. He was like, no, they not. No, they not. I was like, dude, they're calling for backup.
Oh
So
my
the
God.
backup officer came. They're like, you got warrants. We're going to take you in. And I was working this trucking company at the time. I had a red polo shirt on and some black khakis.
Gangster.
They took me to the Gardena station. And it was maybe about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So they called me in there and they're like, if don't nobody come get you or bail you out by 6 o'clock, you go in the county.
Go where? Where you say go where?
I said, I need to make a phone call. I need to make a phone. So I called my boy Big Jess. He was like, nigga, what? Da-da-da-da-da. I was like, okay. I was like, call my pops. He's like, nah, I'm calling moms. Listen, don't call her. She's not coming. She gonna come get you. She go. Listen, man, she's not coming. He calls her. Hello, Miss Fagan. Wanda. Okay. I was like, and he had him on the 3. I said, I told you don't call her. But she called my dad and told him he better come get me. So
Oh my gosh.
$1,534.78.
How much?
$1,534.78.
and Wanda, never forget that amount.
Never.
Never.
Hey,
Never.
he know
I
to the
cannot.
penny.
He got there, dude, about 6:15. I thought I was going, dog.
Oh.
I was so scared. They took my shoestrings, all of that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
They made
What
you
you gonna
bend
do with a
over
shoe
and
string?
cough
What you
too.
gonna do with a shoe string? Floss your ass?
And as big as I was back then, what shoestrings wasn't gonna do nothing. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
All right,
cannot.
man. So I know you guys have heard about Robert Fuller out of Palmdale. He was 24 years old. He was. They said at first he committed suicide by hanging. Then there was also another gentleman a month before him, Malcolm Harsh out of Victorville. Now, mind you, these two were 10 days apart from one another, 50
Right.
miles away from one
50
another.
miles.
50 miles away from one another. And both of them, they said, committed suicide by hanging. Now,
Well,
Robert Fuller,
Robert Fuller autopsy came back and said it wasn't it wasn't a
wasn't suicide.
suicide.
So then they called it a homicide. They've switched it up to be a homicide now. So they're waiting on Malcolm Harsh autopsy, second autopsy to come back to see about if they're going to change his also.
There was a girl found somewhere too.
And wasn't it in
That was she was like she was a protester or something. I think she was leading some stuff.
No, there was another lady too.
No, another hanging of a lady in was it?
Because the one you're talking about was she was one of the Black Lives Matters leaders or organizers or something.
Yeah.
In Tallahassee, Florida.
Right.
I don't remember the day.
Wow.
I mean,
that's crazy, man. This is nuts, man.
Today, right before we started the show, there was another report out your way, Juan Fuego, in Dallas. A gentleman, same thing, was hung by a tree also.
Wow.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I don't put it past him out here.
But this is the problem, man. This is. I'm trying to say this, trying to find the words to say.
I don't even know. This
When
shit is crazy.
when when we are truly in some ways awakening to who we really are and what we could do as a people, some of these people don't like it. A lot of them don't like it. And they true colors are coming out. And these old school mentalities, well, they ain't old school, but these mentalities of what they're doing to people is crazy. Like, I just don't get how in 2020 people are being hanged. And the first thing that they're saying is they're ruling it a suicide. This is what I'm saying by people trying to justify everything off the bat. Like, that you would, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's just, some stuff just don't make no sense to me. That people would think that way. Like, it's right away a suicide. Like, I saw his sister on TV, like, no. Like, he did not kill himself. Like, nothing, we're not even doing that. You know what I mean? But that's people's justification of, you know, just, it couldn't be what you think it is. It couldn't be that somebody would do that to somebody. Yeah, they did.
Right.
You've been doing it. You've been doing it. You know what I mean?
That
like,
way, that's,
I'm about to say, man,
tell your people,
I'm about to say, tell your people to chill out there, to live.
And you know, Palmdale, they got some white supremacy
they
out
got
there.
them all day.
Yeah,
that's
heavy.
crazy.
See, and I didn't even know that.
Oh, they heavy.
Yeah,
they
I knew
heavy.
Like in Bakersfield it was kind of thick, but I didn't know in Palmdale either. I didn't know that.
Oh, they always been there. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. And I'm with you though, Z. We do have to be careful because, as we know, and the FBI did a report too, that a lot of KKK, Klans members, white supremacists have infiltrated law enforcement, and so that's another thing that we got to be careful with too, during the Black Lives Matter and our protest. That, you know, it's just not your, you know, your radical racist that's out here that's willing to do you some harm. You got police officers that do the same exact thing. When we're out here protesting, because like the young girl that was in Tallahassee, Florida, you know, there's small reports that are out, and literally she just disappeared. The next, you know, she just washes up dead. So, you know, it's one of those things we truly, and we got to tell our folks to be careful when they're out there protesting. Just be careful, because again, there are people that's watching. There are people that's paying attention and looking for their opportunity to attack, and, you know, take one of us out. So yes, most definitely, man. Right.
That's crazy.
Let's get into. Anybody here drink coffee?
No, I'm not a big coffee drinker.
I like iced coffee. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Like a little caramel macchiato.
Zayed iced coffee and a macchiato, something.
Extra caramel.
Extra. For real.
Is this from Starbucks?
Yes.
No, you know, hey man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I used to mess with Starbucks, but they too expensive, and I start going to 7-Eleven get my iced coffee, man.
But low key though, yeah, I didn't mess with Starbucks.
And you can make your own.
You
can hit your own flavor with it. Yeah, all that.
But 7-Eleven
I ain't gonna lie and say I still don't rock with Starbucks, but yeah, they be
7-Eleven do got that bomb. McDonald's got that good hot latte too, though.
McDonald's do too. Stop playing. Hey, did you know at McDonald's you could ask them for the extra espresso shot and all that?
Yes.
Yeah. What? Talk to me. I'm sorry.
And they take Apple Pay.
Because you know y'all getting off subject.
No, we still talk about coffee.
No, we on subject.
Yeah.
So you heard about Starbucks and Black Lives Matter, right?
Right.
Yeah. You said no people.
Semi.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So Starbucks said that no employee can come in with Black Lives Matter paraphernalia on, and so it became a big deal. Knowing that they represent the LBG, what is it? LBG.
TQ.
Community. GQ. Thank you. Community.
Yeah.
And they do a lot with them. But when it came to the Black Lives Matter, of course, they were like, nah, you can't do that. No.
Well, okay. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Z.
Well, I talked to my wife about this, and she put some things in perspective for me too. She did say, however, like, and I hope I get this right, but you know, they showed up. I guess they showed up with the mask on, right? And I guess they showed up with some masks that said Black Lives Matter. And she said, "What job can you go to where you're out of uniform and nobody
That's what
says
I was
anything
gonna
to you?"
say. I mean,
Now,
not like that.
but however,
yeah.
she did say that, you know, they do support the LGBT, but it's like they didn't just jump on it right away. You know what I mean? It was like something that, you know, then, you know, they started bringing out product and stuff like that. And I'm sure Starbucks is probably going to do that too.
Yeah.
But at
they
that
built
time,
a relationship
like I think that, how can I say this? I think sometimes we have to look, because we ready. You know what I'm saying? I think that we
trying to go
so
right
up
now.
in arms. Yeah, we are ready to go. And we really got to look at the context. You know what I mean? Like if Talia got a uniform at her shop and you show up out of uniform, you're going to get pressed. You know what I mean? Like it's simple as that.
Yeah.
Now, later on, we might say, okay, since this is going on, we're going to support this movement. Now we can all rock your thing. But come on, man. Like, let's just be real. Like, I get it, but yeah.
So let me
go ahead, Pee Wee. I'll let you finish, my dude.
It's kind of like it's kind of like I don't even, it's hard to describe, but I totally get it as far as what you're saying. It's just like you're not going to show up to Target with a goddamn Marshall shirt on.
A Nike shirt.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like what you mean?
So,
I'm just wearing my Nike shirt.
But even, I don't know how to, I don't know how to describe it.
But they'll have some Black Lives. They're gonna have some.
Yeah, they say they was there. They said
week.
they was printing up some Black Lives Matter shirts, and I read that. I don't know how.
Hey, but Pee Wee, I know you heard about Starbucks. I know you see Nike with the business. Nike don't play.
Well, Nike's been with the business.
Yeah, Nike supported Cap. They don't care. Yeah. Nike, because they got too many black athletes to make these people mad.
Right.
They ain't making nobody mad.
They've been always on it. But okay, so let me ask you guys this. As far as Starbucks is concerned, this is not the first time we've talked about Starbucks.
It's not
with Black people. Right. How is it now? And I get you can't come in with a mask on, and I get that. I still feel that Starbucks could have handled the situation a little different. Okay.
How so, Pee Wee? How so? Talk to me.
But wait a minute.
Handled it
you
different
can't,
as far as what?
You can't come in with a mask. They want you to wear a mask, but it just can't say Black Lives Matter.
Right. I guess they wanted just plain mask. You know what I mean?
Okay, I got a question. I know we just said coming in with Target and Marshalls. What would it be? Would it have been a difference if it was a? I know I just said Target and Marshalls. Would it have been a difference, you think, if they came in with, let's just say, a football team on their mask or a NBA
yeah, see, they
team
probably wouldn't have said
or...
nothing. They probably wouldn't have said nothing. I think that's the point. It's like who is Black Lives Matter hurting by seeing that? I can understand if it was Dunkin' Donuts and you working at Starbucks. Right. I can
right. I see what you're saying. No,
but how is, just because everybody doesn't agree,
but I guess they're
perfect example.
Like
perfect example. Like you said, what if they came in with a football team, right? If I walk in and somebody has on a Dallas Cowboys a mask,
and you live in Dallas,
I don't like it.
I love it.
Off the bat, I don't like that person.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but that doesn't mean that, in my mind, it doesn't mean that they shouldn't wear it.
Right.
Everybody's entitled to feel and like what they want. I don't think that it had anything to do with interrupting business.
Well, I think that because of what I think is, it would interrupt business in their mind because of what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Per se.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything is high, everything is intense. I think that's probably why they came down on it like they did.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you, Talia. I think it was.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, I get it.
And I totally get it. I get all aspects of it, but I believe that's why they came down on it, because, you know, we have to try and nip this in the bud, because, you know, we may lose customers, quote unquote, or someone may come in. Let's just say, a white person, whatever, and it can turn into an altercation, between a customer and an employee. These are probably things that went through their head as
right.
And again, that's why I say I feel that they could have handled the situation a little different, where it didn't have to go as public as it did. Now,
It's
with
going
those
public, Pee
employees,
Wee, though. It's going public.
well, I'm just saying with those employees. Okay, let me start with the employees. With the employees that did it, it's real easy to say, hey, okay, look, we support you guys, but this is what we're going to do so that you don't have to wear the mask. We're going to do the shirts. They only said the shirts later after they got backlash.
Of course.
Okay. So that's where I go back to. This is not the first time that Starbucks has been in the middle of some black controversy.
Right, because they wasn't letting niggas use the bathroom.
But we go right back to Starbucks. Like, I'm trying to understand, why do we continue to patronize
Pee Wee
business that we know this ain't the first time, multiple times.
I love that, and I'm glad you said that, Pee Wee.
And I'm glad you said that too, because
we will be hard pressed to shop anywhere that doesn't support Trump, that doesn't support white supremacy, that doesn't support. We would be hard pressed to go anywhere that doesn't do that. Have you seen the list of the people that support Trump?
Stupid long.
Like, where you getting your fast food from, Pee Wee?
I don't eat out no more, man.
Since earlier. No, I feel that, Zaid, but at the same time, I am going to try and do my best. I know a lot a lot of people support him, but I'm gonna try not to go as many places as I can. And I just posted on my site. I'm a post on the No Boundaries. Is on Juneteenth. We are trying to spend $5 million in Black-owned businesses from June 19th to July 4th.
No doubt.
That's something as well that we need to just try and support as many Black businesses as possible. I know you get, they high and they don't have no customer service and da 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 da.
Yeah, we talked about that last week too.
But it comes back to what I was saying. We gotta change our ways and how we do
have to change our ways and the way we do things. But at the same time, all Black businesses are not just ghetto and don't have customer service and are not trying to overtax you. Some people need to realize that it costs more speaking from my experience trying to get wholesale product to resale, they charge us more. So we got to charge more to get our profit. And a lot of people don't think that. They just don't see that. They just think, they trying to charge us and tax us on this because they can. That's not the case and all matters. So I just need people to think about that when they are purchasing from Black-owned businesses. And, at the same time, you're going to drop that WAP anywhere else and not question it. So,
no doubt.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Why question,
It's true.
But it goes back to what Juan said, though. We got to change our culture's mindset when it comes to support one another. I think that's one of the things that, when you're talking about Black businesses, and I'm going to try to segue into this, though, is Trump, Juneteenth, Tulsa, Oklahoma, for his first rally, where Black Wall Street was at.
You see that? He changed it, though, P. He changed it.
Did he?
Yeah, he changed it to the next day. He changed it to the next. He got pressed. Somebody said, hey, bro, you might not want to do that. But the fact that he would do it there, P, is like, dude, you on some just listen, nigga. Like, I gotta say it, nigga. The fact that you would really do it on that day, knowing what it means to Black people, and in Tulsa, Oklahoma, nigga, he ain't nigga. Hey, You know what I'm saying, Juan? That's some like
Hey,
that's some
Zaid,
rolling up to your ex-girl house
hey,
with your new girl,
Hey,
like
he's a
singing like
Zaid,
savage.
what's
Like,
good,
hey,
like
Zaid is
yeah.
hot right now. He done said
he's
nigga
a
like 4
savage.
times.
Dude, and you know I don't really mess with it, but I'm just saying, man. Like
Hey man, they don't
that's
care
some
about
bold
us, bro.
stuff,
They don't
bro.
care
That's
about us.
bold, man.
Yeah,
And
man.
you're
Yeah.
absolutely right, Juan. They don't.
No, not at
There's
all.
just the blatant disrespect that you knew about it. You're the president of the United States. You got too many people talking. And at some point, somebody done told you about Juneteenth. June 19th.
He
Somebody
That's
done
don't
told
care.
that.
Just
Well,
like he went
he
out
ain't got
there
enough
and
black
went
people in
across the
there.
street and
that
held that Bible in front of that church. He don't give a damn.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, somebody didn't told him. He just do what he want to do. He knows disrespectful. Um, and again, that's one of the reasons why I think he hasn't truly spoken out towards what's going on in the U.S. is
He has
because he
not.
likes this. This is his calling.
Mm,
He's speaking to
right.
his base. His base
Yeah.
is all about this, and so why? Why should I? There's no
Right.
reason for me to. I can
Like
wait
he
this out. Something else to come up.
right. And I think that's the one thing that I truly appreciate, even about these protests, even about these marches. Like people are not letting up, and
Uh-uh.
because you can't. Because I think when you do, no matter what happens, if you do, then they win, man. Like they win.
Right.
And that's what they want to happen. All this stuff, they want to build the fear in us. They want us to be scared to go out and all this stuff, and have one machine working at a voting place. They want you to get tired and get
Right.
out of line. People was in that line like, I ain't moving, like I'm in here voting,
Man,
you know what I
Atlanta
mean?
was
Like,
that was
but
crazy.
but that's the kind of stuff that they want you to do, and they want us to quit, man. But we
Right.
resilient, bro. Like we
They don't
we
know.
done
We
been through way
tired.
worse,
Look,
homie.
we
For
Yeah,
real.
tired.
yeah.
For real.
They gonna
For
get
real.
all this black
And
magic.
now is not the time to be questioning each other motives. Like that's what I just don't like. I don't like when black people try to do stuff and other black people, well, what's that gonna do? Oh, y'all gonna do this for 2 weeks, and well, why you
Right.
not with us, bro? Why you not with it? And I'm not saying you got to be out there marching, but when these petitions come your way and it's something you believe in, sign it,
Sign it.
send it. Like
Exactly.
it's some stuff that you could do without being out there, marching and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man. But that's
Yeah.
why we can't do nothing, because some of us be about it and some of us not. You know what I mean?
And let me
Facts.
back off of that though, Z. I just want to say this, is I'm gonna just piggyback. Is when it comes to jury duty,
Mm,
we need to start doing jury duty
mm,
because again, this is a situation where they always say you're being judged by your peers. And if
right.
our peers are not in those 12 seats,
Right.
we can't, we gotta do jury duty. I know some
Yeah.
of it's in our head. Well, yeah.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. I did. I did dodge it a little.
Oh God,
It was no.
Yeah, I
It
went
was
on a
my
day they
first
didn't have
time.
nothing.
It was my first time actually getting a jury duty notice or whatever. But I couldn't go at the time. But yeah, I will go if I get summons again. But hope that they not listening because I didn't go, and hopefully they'll come looking for
Look, you
me.
gonna be like, what they say,
Yeah.
Martin? What they on Martin Payne? They on Martin? They like, yeah, I
but
ain't been.
no, but no,
I
I'm with you,
love
P.
jury duty.
I'm with you, P. Yeah, cause you,
Juan be in
yeah,
there looking like Cole, ordering all the food and everything.
No, bro. But I mean, I'm a crime government type person. I've
Mm.
always been into that, and I was even looking in trying to get on the grand jury.
Oh, you crazy for real?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm intrigued by that kind of stuff.
Mm.
But
Man, let's go. Why go do it?
hey, well, I got to figure things out down here now. I don't know if they
Oh,
have it.
you don't want to go down there? You might, for real. You gonna be the only person on that. They gonna be like guilty, 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 no guilty. They gonna look right at your ass,
okay.
like Juan again.
Yeah,
Like
he
he
gonna be
black, he ain't
cold.
do
He
it.
gonna be cold. He gonna be cold.
Right, for real.
He is gonna be cold for
Oh,
Well,
real.
man.
before we end this show, man, let's end it on a funny note. A topic that Juan is dear to Juan's heart right now. mean, this is his topic right here. Karen, Karen, Karen.
Or should we
That's
say
true.
motherfucking Karen?
And what's wrong with him, dog? I mean, what make what make you think you can just say whatever it is you want to say and just be loud? Did you see the one in Torrance where the lady was working out on the stairs?
Bro, she
Like
got
she,
2 videos. That same lady got 2 videos out. Juan, your son showed me 2 of them.
yeah,
Bro,
she got two. She been harassing
The
people.
same
And she been
lady.
harassing more than 2 people. Yeah, she got a
bro,
problem.
yeah.
And hey, but what I'm with though, when she told the lady, you're in the hot sun with all black.
Yeah.
The next day at the park, they had a workout and everybody showed up in all black.
Oh wow,
Stop
nice,
playing.
nice.
These people
nice,
not playing with these people, and I love it. I
nice,
should have went out there
Look,
too, God.
man, let me tell you
nice.
something. That's just like the lady at the gas station at the convenience store, and she
Oh
slapped her.
yeah,
Yeah, you didn't. Now I'm fear for my life. Let me
yeah,
slap you.
Right.
You gonna touch me?
yeah. And then
I
the husband
You can't put your
is
hands on somebody.
the
no,
husband
not at all.
is apologizing, saying she got mental health issues.
No,
Oh,
she knew exactly what she was
That,
saying.
Yeah.
hey, that's like crying wolf. We didn't heard that story before. We ain't trying to hear that
Right.
again, man.
Did
Right.
you see the one
Right.
where? Did you see the one where she threw her in the bush though?
Oh yeah, that
No.
was in Chatsworth.
Oh my
I
God.
missed that one.
Oh, she had her like in a headlock or something. She was telling her, "You done picked the wrong one." Da da da. All this stuff, right? All this
Oh.
stuff. All this stuff. And then finally, she was like, "Now I'm done with it," and pushed her in the bushes, dog.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was
Juan,
I'm
you be
just,
having
hilarious.
all the videos. Juan, you got all the videos.
They be coming my way, bro.
I just hope that I don't run into no Karen,
Man.
because I'm just gonna tell y'all, just bail me out and I'll give y'all the money afterwards, because
Hey, Talia, I'm just trying to figure out how they are. Some of these ladies are walking up on men, like walking up on men talking crazy. And I'm like,
I ain't
yo,
seen
like
them walk up
you're
on the
bugging,
men.
bro. Oh, I'm saying,
Oh,
I
oh,
did
have.
you?
they be walking
Oh,
up on men.
did you see the
I
one
They
where they were
haven't.
in
crazy.
the parking lot? The lady was
That's the one
standing
I
in front
saw,
of the car.
bro. And her husband was in the
Yeah,
truck waiting.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
And
we
she
all
out
and
the
know that
side
truck.
cussing the
he
dude out.
finally, yeah, he finally came over there. He was like, "Man, you need to get your wife or whatever." And he was telling the wife, he was like, "Yeah, because if you put your hands on me," he said, "I'm knocking you out and I'm knocking your husband out."
Oh,
What?
you
Oh
that's
no,
the.
I missed
They
that
was at
one.
a car dealership. That was a
Was it
car
a car
Oh
dealership.
my
dealership? Okay,
God.
I
Oh
thought it
Oh,
was a
yeah,
I know what
yeah,
mall.
yeah,
I
yeah.
know which
I
one you
did
talking
see
about,
that one.
Juan.
I did see
I know
that
which
one.
one
Yeah,
you
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
But that
Yeah.
wasn't her husband though, was it? At the
No,
end?
but she was
I don't
Oh
loaded.
know
no
The
what
no
one in
no
the
no!
car
It
lot
happened.
was
was
it was.
loaded.
Oh no! I saw that one too because somebody came in between her and he was like, "Go drive off, just drive off."
Yeah. I know
This
what
was
you talking about.
another one. This was
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah, I saw both of
They
them.
were at a
Yeah.
mall and because he was saying, he said, "We were just in there shopping. Like, what's the problem?"
Mm. Oh
The most
man.
Let
recent
me
one that
tell
I
you.
saw, well, it's two of them. Most recent one I saw, I guess it was a stop sign, and the guy blew through the stop sign. They ended up in a parking lot. She was going off on him, and um, she was in a red truck with a guy. I don't know if you
I saw it. Yeah.
saw that one. And she was
Yeah.
going off on the dude, and he was nice, recording, let it. And then he was like, "What do you call her? Z?" He called her.
No. Oh no, I'm thinking
He
about the
called
other
her.
one.
What's the what's the drug that a meth head? He called her a meth head.
Oh man.
It's like
Hello.
dude.
This
What?
hey, these hey Karen.
So it looks like we had some technical difficulties at the end. I want to thank you for joining. Tune in to No Boundaries _JMO on IG. And we have a YouTube channel, No Boundaries, Just My Opinion. Thank you for your support.